Greetings, everybody. My name is Michael or Kubera, and we're back in the car today because it's Sunday, August 23rd, one final week of summer. Here we go. Technically, I mean, summer ends in September, but that's okay. We're talking about something that immediately, when you see it, you think summer. Pineapples. More specifically, well, there's also another meaning for pineapples, but more specifically, the Pineapple Fund 5,057 BTC Bitcoins. Yes, this is tens of millions of dollars that were simply given away by an individual, most likely. Maybe it was a group, but probably an individual. He did get help probably from other people to distribute this, because this is, you know, like it was $80-90 million at the time. A Bitcoin multi-millionaire who gave away the majority of his wealth because he did not want to be part of this super wealthy club. His goals weren't the same as many other people's. They don't really care for yachts or Lamborghinis or any of that. I'm sure he's doing just fine financially right now. Or she. We don't really know who it is, so it's a mystery, just like Satoshi Nakamoto. But they made their money with Bitcoin, and I looked back at this because I know Vitalik Buterin actually was part of the Pineapples Fund's donation. He didn't donate that much, but it still is a lot to the average person. He worked in conjunction with the Pineapple Fund for one of these charity routes, because there was a bunch of different charities that the Pineapple Fund went towards to. Anyways, let's go into details about this, because I saw very few videos on this, and it kind of inspired me, hey, I want to educate people about this. It is just as valuable as technical analysis of Bitcoin, learning how to program on Solidity. You have to look at the big picture, what has happened with everything in crypto so far. So we are going through all the little details, and it's entertaining. So let's roll the intro. Hello, my friends and everybody. It's been an exciting weekend, so I have to apologize very quickly for yesterday's lack of upload. Unfortunately, by the way, if anybody knows what's going on, if you've had this issue before, you're just familiar with it, let me know down in the comment section below. I was joking on live stream that maybe it's a heart attack or something. We're okay, we're alive. But it's gotten a little worse, actually. So right here on the upper left side of my chest, I have no idea what it is, whether it's a lung, whether it's to do with my heart, whether it's to do with some muscles around the heart. Something's aching for the past 3 days, and there's these sharp stabbing pains every now and then. So it's a 24/7 dull ache, and every now and then it's like boom, this sharp stabbing pain that just radiates all over my body. And I looked into like heart attack stuff, but my arm would have to be numb. I guess it started after I had an energy drink. I have high blood pressure, you know, obese, so it's not really that great, but it hasn't gotten a lot worse. It's just still sticking around. It's gotten a little bit worse. It's a little funny, actually. So I woke up the next day and my entire body was sore, all my muscles. I looked this up and I couldn't find out anything, unless I guess it's COVID, but we're not going through that mess again. We're not testing for COVID again. Nah, see ya, goodbye. Seriously, all my legs and my arms, they're entirely sore. So if anybody can connect what these two issues are, let me know down in the comment section below. And also an update in terms of the Pineapple Fund. I said 5,057 Bitcoins because that was the original goal. Turns out this individual actually donated more, over 5,100 Bitcoins. In total, these funds today, at today's current price, approaching $12,000 per Bitcoin, all of it is worth around $60 million that was donated to a bunch of charities. So let's go through all of the information. The individual successfully donated over 5,100 Bitcoins to a bunch of his charities that he wanted to go for and cause it. It got a lot of media attention. I'm sure other people were also inspired as well. You have to remember, not only are you as a multimillionaire or a billionaire viewed as a philanthropist, but you inspire other people and motivate other people to donate to their causes as well. And you also have to account one other huge thing. This was timed perfectly well right around the crypto crash. If he donated a little too late, these charities would have received much less money. Overall, I'm a little disappointed that there wasn't that much media attention that stuck around, but during the time when this happened, there was a bunch of media attention on that. So that's at least a good thing. The website's not up anymore because, well, whoever owns the Pineapple Fund has completed their goal. So let's go through it. So Pine, the individual behind this whole charitable fund, made his first post on Reddit on our Bitcoin over 2 years ago, in December of 2019, and it took him a few months to finish up all of these funding rounds, and he finished giving all of his 5,100 plus BTC in May 2018. So at the very beginning, his fund, with all of the Bitcoins that were to be given away, were worth approximately $86 million. And here, the day he posted, it was approaching $18,000 per Bitcoin. So around $86 million worth of Bitcoin. So far, when the post was created, the Pineapple Fund has donated $1 million to WotC, an impressively innovative charity building technology to finance universal healthcare, donated $1 million to the Water Project, a charity providing sustainable water projects to suffering communities in Africa, donated $1 million to the EFF, defending rights and privacy of internet users, fighting for net neutrality, and far, far more. So this would make sense for a cryptocurrency individual. Donated $500,000 to BitGive Foundation, a charity building projects that leverage Bitcoin and blockchain technology for global philanthropy. Also, one of the biggest donations actually went to MAP. So this is going to interest those from Avi, actually, and I believe we've talked about this on Avi before. So in January, a donation of $4 million, which was huge, was given to the nonprofit organization Multidisciplinary Association for Psychedelic Studies, MAPS, to apply MDMA as a psychotherapy treatment for PTSD patients. In April, MAPS director Brad Burge reported the substance was showing promising results for treating PTSD, claiming that the new treatment involves only 3 administrations of a drug that's been around for over 100 years. And since it is in stage 3, it's most likely going to be legalized for PTSD usage and medical cases. YouTube, don't worry, this isn't promoting. This is just saying that $4 million was given to charity. Don't demonetize. On May 11th, 2018, the Pineapple Fund wrote a farewell post saying that all the funds have been donated. Timed with the 2017 crypto bubble, 5,104 BTC was turned into $55 million for charities. I'm happy and proud of the impact that will come, mostly thanks to the amazing charities and the dedicated people behind them. The amount turned out to be worth, unfortunately, $31 million less than they had initially anticipated due to the dramatic drop of the crypto market in early 2018. However, ranging from $50,000 to even a high of $5 million, all of the charities that have received the funds have had huge impacts thanks to this. Pineapple Fund website stated, sometime around the early days of Bitcoin, I saw the promise of decentralized money and decided to buy, mine, and trade some magical internet tokens. The expectation-shattering returns of Bitcoin over many years has led to an amount far more than I can spend. What do you do when you have more money than you can ever possibly spend? Donating most of it to charity is what I'm doing. Pine has a long history in the crypto world and started mining on an old home PC. I discovered Bitcoin back when it was a small community of people trying to turn a toy project into a new decentralized monetary paradigm. It's shorter to list the things I haven't done in the crypto space. I've even created my own cryptocurrency. However, I cannot name it. Pine is convinced that what the world needs is peace, love, unity, and respect. They listed medical research, mental health, wildlife and environmental conservation, fighting domestic violence and sexual abuse, sustaining basic necessities, and technology-related causes, advocacy, and open source projects as main areas of their focus. Why these? Well, it's not that I think they're the most important or have the highest impact, but because I think everyone has a different set of values. They align with my values, and I think any contribution to those causes will bring some good to this world that we all share. Pine said they won't become actively involved in the charities and projects they support. As much as I would like to, I have other ventures that I'm busy with. Will Pine ever share their real identity? That's unlikely. I prefer keeping my identity a mystery. The Pineapple Project isn't about publicity. In fact, 0 people in my life know that I'm behind it. It's better for people to think you are well off than super rich. Stealth wealth, everybody, stealth wealth right there. It can hurt you when people know that you are super rich. But I could share my love for pineapples. I once ate so much pineapple that I suffered an allergic reaction and had to go to urgent care. Don't do that. Yes, I actually have been close to that. You see, I love pineapples as well, and I thankfully did my research that, hey, if you eat too much of this, it can have a pretty bad effect on your body. And I absolutely love pineapples. Plus, there's some pretty good reasons. Wink, 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 wink. But unfortunately, the Wayback Machine does not show how the website originally looked. So I can't find all of the sources that he donated to. Some sources say Maps received $5 million instead of 4, but I'm not sure what the discrepancy there is. There was another one named Give Directly, a group facilitating the ability to send money directly to the extreme poor, also landed $5 million in donations. It claims to distribute 88% of each dollar to those in need. Roughly $1,000 is sent to well-vetted recipients who often use what is the equivalent in about a year's wages for essential housing materials. Okay, so I found some more information, but if you're curious to learn more about this, all the links will be provided down in the description below. Here, he also donated to Canine Therapy Corps, which described the donation as possibly the biggest thing to ever happen in the history of the organization, which allowed them to put a down payment on a new building, scaling up significantly, training even more dogs. There was also Green Steps, which the donation from Pine completely changed the organization, allowing it to scale up, create a cleanup program, powered a mobile site, and get to a position where they were eligible for more grants. So here's what Green Steps is. It's basically environmental stuff, helping eradicate litter and educating people about that. There's also the Reagent Project, which is science I can see here, Requip. And it looks like there's a branch in Kenya and in Tanzania, South Africa. While not all of the Pineapple Fund's donations were tax deductible, the vast majority of them were. This is important for all nonprofit organizations to remember, as according to the IRS, cryptocurrency is treated as property no differently to many other assets such as stocks, bonds, or vehicles. Of the organizations that were spoken to, they had varied levels of success with follow-up donations from other individuals. Generally speaking, the level of success they had in soliciting additional donations was directly linked to how actively they engaged with the crypto community. So this is important to note for any company or for nonprofit organizations. Those that made it simple and easy for others to donate on their website, and this doesn't mean hiding a QR code on page 3 of their FAQ. That's for some reason a very specific piece of advice there. Probably a website did that. Who published a press release about their donation and engaged with the media, who engaged with the crypto community online, received significant follow-up donations, while others might have received more regular but smaller individual donations. For many of these organizations, this was their first encounter with Bitcoin and never dealt with cryptocurrency at a personal level, let alone at an organizational level. These donations brought up a lot of issues that they never encountered and never had to consider in the past. However, hey, if you're getting $1 million, why not? CEO of the Regent Project, which received a donation from Pine worth approximately $100,000, said it felt too good to be true, while another organization with senior leadership said they didn't want to accept a donation as they felt that Bitcoin was blackmail money. Remember, this is 2017. People weren't as familiar with crypto back then. Those lucky enough to get offered the donations then needed to set up lightning rounds of not only educating themselves about crypto and Bitcoin donations, but also their senior decision makers as they battle to convince their boards that these donations were legitimate with no strings attached and not some sort of phishing scam that would bring their nonprofits into disrepute. So this is also a risk, right? And unfortunately, this happens in time. So in total, there was 55 organizations who received donations. Everyone has a slightly different story. Some used Coinbase, some used GDAX, some Kraken, some Stripe when it accepted Bitcoin back then, some physical wallets and cold storage. One CEO had of Hearts and Homes for refugees. Their son-in-law had worked at Coinbase, so they were able to really easily set up everything. Another one said, our ability to set up our crypto donation platform greatly hinged on the crypto experience from within our network of supporters. We've learned that as the millennial workforce continues to demonstrate their expertise in technology, along with a sincere passion for giving back, we're able to identify volunteers with unique skill sets like expertise in crypto and leverage their commitment to our organization in a pro bono manner. Not only were our volunteers able to help set up our platform when we asked for help, they continue to be engaged, helping optimize our website and communication so we can adapt to this changing environment and be better prepared to better diversify of our giving options. One organization said they received a donation of over $1 million and they physically held a Trezor wallet on themselves at all times for approximately 2 weeks before he wanted or he was able to sell it. So, man, that's crazy. Imagine you're walking around with $1 million, you go to the bathroom and you are freaked out because if anything happens to that, if anybody approaches you, you're like, oh my God, this is life-changing money that I have on myself. So some acted quickly and were able to realize the full value of their donations, while others who either took a while to set up their accounts or faced other significant issues such as daily donation or withdrawal limits, unfortunately weren't able to realize the full amount of their donation. However, still a large portion of it. The vast majority had a policy of cashing out manually as soon as possible. So I'm going to end this off with a quote from Pine. Thanks for following along with this experiment. I'm going to say goodbye for now, but maybe there's room for dessert in a few years. Oh no, maybe Bitcoin's going back up, so the amount that he left for himself, hey. Maybe we're going to see Pine around again. If you're ever blessed with crypto fortune, consider supporting what you aspire our world to be. Love, Pine. So this is awesome, and this wasn't the only, this was the only project of its kind, really, and it's absolutely crazy. But there were other crypto donations of over $1 million. For example, the crowdfunding, the unsolicited crypto donations after Roger Ver offended Mr. Antonopoulos, of which books I recommend, by the way, because both of them were early supporters of Bitcoin, but Roger Ver said, well, hey, why didn't you invest more? Why didn't you invest in it if you so heavily believed in it? So the community was like, listen, Roger, that's really not fair to Mr. Antonopoulos. And they raised, at the time, I think it was $1.5 or $1.7 million in terms of Bitcoin for him. So that was awesome. And there's other cases where it was given to other charities or other individuals in need, or homes were provided, homeless were helped. So there's a lot of stuff. And what happened was a lot of these people who were crypto entrepreneurs, they set up crypto funds, they set up crypto charities and crypto companies that are still helping the world today. So be inspired, stay motivated, my friends. All right, guys, what would you do if you had 5,057 Bitcoins to your name? And actually, to be quite honest, we don't even know how much this individual had in total because they said the majority, so it wasn't everything. Maybe they had 6,000 Bitcoin. So let's just say 6,000 or 5,500 Bitcoin, maybe $100 million, a round number like that. What would you do with $100 million? Would you also give it away to charity? And if so, how much? Thanks for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll let you guys know that what would I do with $100 million? First of all, I would definitely donate to charity, but not at $100 million. The reason for this, you probably guess, due to my tinnitus and hearing loss, that would be one of the first places I donate towards that cause. But even $100 million, the whole majority of that wouldn't be enough to cure it, most likely. Cures are very, very expensive stuff, especially if you don't know where you're shooting. You're shooting in the dark. So what I would do is I'd take the majority of that and invest it into much safer assets, much safer investments. Stay away from liabilities. Maybe enjoy myself for a little bit, take $1 million and enjoy myself with that. And all the rest, invest it into real estate, into other cryptos that are lower risk, stocks, startup companies, whatever. And then once that $100 million will be turned into $1 billion, then you can take half of that and donate it. And $500 million is going to go a lot further than $100 million ever. Because once you already donated that, it's going to be a lot harder to go from that $10 million. If you donate 90 million of that 100 million, from that 10 million back up to 100 million, then from 100 million to 500 million or $1 billion. So that's what I would do. Thanks for watching this video. Bye.